facts quite straight, but we haven't actually been dealing with all the facts, as you may have noticed. Some of the stuff out there was really amazing and continues to be amazing. There is an awesome website put together by something like over 800 people now, and it's, you have to be admitted, but that's easy, Stand with Senator Hansen, and it's some of the best thank yous and participation in democracy you have ever seen. And I really believe when we left, it was talking about being democratic and democracy, that we were going to make a difference for the people, we're going to stand up for them. So obviously there are recalls going on, 16 of them, 8 Democrats, 8 Republicans, that's the max, because you've got to be in there at least a year to be recalled, and we all have 3 years in. And some of the ways of collecting signatures obviously is rather interesting. But we're going to fight the good fight, and I'm sure they will as well. And there's a big election coming up on Tuesday where I think you can really make a difference. The Supreme Court race on Tuesday. So everybody get out there and vote, no matter who you vote for, participate in the process. But I've got a favorite, and her first name is Joanne. It's important to note that the argument over workers' rights will continue. But the fight now also must be about a budget that really can hurt a lot of people. Public education cut over $1 billion. $250 million cut from the university system. $36 million cut from the tech schools. And you notice a lot of the teachers are leaving the threat of privatizing the state pension, which I think is an awful idea. If they would have privatized Social Security in the day and we would have gone through the Wall Street collapse, Social Security would have taken a huge hit. And there is no reason to change a pension plan that is sitting on $80 billion. It's a great fund, one of the top 4 or 5 in the country. There's no reason to change. One of the sadder cuts, and one of the programs we're the most proud of, is our senior care program, which is the best prescription drug care plan in the country. Definitely in the country. We're the only state that has a separate one from Medicare D. It has served so many people well. I remember my late neighbor on the corner. His drugs were $1,000 a month. But for a $30 membership and a $15 deductible per drug, he could stay in his home, he could have his meals, he didn't have to split those pills like people had to do before we had the program. But the proposal now is you have to join Medicare D and pay $40-some a month. Money the seniors do not have. So we got to do all we can. We just did a mailing, 20,000 people, ages 60 and over. Please do what you can to contact legislators to protect senior care. But when you compare that to Badger Care cuts and MA, it's something like $500 million in cuts to programs that have allowed us to insure 95% of our population, something we should really be proud of. So senior care, Badger Care, and MA can take serious hits. As I mentioned, education is a big concern. A lot of teachers are leaving, a lot of professors are leaving, a lot of tech schools, because they are concerned about the pension cuts. But we really felt when the concessions were made by labor to give up half of the pension payment, pay it on their own, and double the health insurance, that the governor would say, okay, I've got my fiscal responsibility taken care of in a budget repair bill. We knew his intentions, especially after his conversation with whom he thought was David Koch, that it was about to take away the rights of working men and women. And where this goes from here is in police, fire, public and private unions. It's a concern for us all because they have made us strong in this country, and we must do whatever we can to continue. So the budget's an issue. There'll be 4 budget sessions. Joint finance will be around this tight. This is the fewest they've ever had, only 4. None in Green Bay. I think 1 in West Allis, 1 in Stevens Point, 1 in Arcadia, and 1 in Minot, near Superior. But nothing locally. Very limited amount of time. Reminds me of what's going on in joint finance. When the department heads come in, it's very limited. You can ask 1 question if you joint finance, and you got to be done. And you got to be done in an hour, even if you've got a lot of questions to ask. So express your opinion as we move forward. I think we have started a movement in this state and in this country, but we started it. You must take the baton and run with it, make a difference on Tuesday, and stand with us that stood with you when we left the land of Lincoln to stand up for workers' rights and the rights of everybody in this state to have a decent living and to maintain our middle class, which seems to be dwindling. Definitely can't all be about the wealthy. To remember, the middle class are important consumers too. That has been forgotten here. Yes. In Brown County, the loss of discretionary income just on the pension and the health insurance is something like $48 million in a year. Just think of the less money for restaurants and the rest. I know it's a tough budget, but they're fixing it, trying to, and we'll be in on Tuesday to deal with the fiscal part of the budget repair bill. Amazing. It was due in February, due in March, and now they're taking it up in April. But we'll all be there on Tuesday, and we'll be working hard for you, and it's been a joy to be a state senator, and I'd love to continue. Thank you for your support.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you very much. These are very, very interesting times. I think it's perhaps politically one of the most exciting times in terms of what can be our future and how we can work to change our future. It's something that we have to all work together. But there's someone here that has been in the political scene for many years, and I like to say, you know, we have our own bright line, but we have a bright person with us tonight, Barbara Lawton. She has a perspective that I think none other has for us. She has been with an administration that I think left the state in pretty good stead, and now she's looking at an administration that has made some amazing, drastic, and very disturbing changes for us. So Barbara, with that, I would like for you to come up and maybe give us some of your thoughts about where we have been and where we are going. Thank you.